Hey guys, Alex here with Serious Goose Games. Welcome back to our Unity Tactics RPG tutorial. In the last video, we added a bunch of logic to handle our enemy movement. Today we're going to keep working on our enemy AI and give them the ability to attack. We're going to start in our player AI script, and we're going to create a private unit called target unit. And this will be the unit we want to attack. Next, we're going to rename handle unit movement to handle unit turn. Now inside each of these cases, we are grabbing a target tile, and we keep calling get closest attack tile. Now that we have a target unit though, we can replace target tile in each case with target unit, get rid of our get closest attack tile. So in AI behaviors.random, we're going to set target unit to get random target. AI behaviors.dumb will set target unit to equal get target by health. False, and autocomplete is doing a lot of heavy lifting for me. Alternatively, we'll do target unit is equal to get target by distance. And then for defensive, we'll change target unit. And for defensive, we're actually going to keep this target tile assignment as is, but this one, we're going to set target unit to be equal to get target distance, or get target by distance. And then for aggressive, same thing, target unit, get target by distance, and then smart, target unit equals get target by health. So if target tile is not equal to null, meaning we have got a target tile, we are still assigning our path and everything, but we have all of these things. We now have target unit. We want to get a tile if we don't already have one. So if target tile is equal to null, then we're going to set target tile to be equal to grid manager dot get closest attack tile. We're going to put our target unit and our active unit. So that cleans up our switch statement a little bit and makes it so we don't have to have target tile equals grid manager, get closest attack tile, target unit in each one of these. So we're avoiding a bit of repetition here. After we do that, if the target tile is not equal to null, then we assign our path, we do move to. If it's still null even after we do this, then we set movement left to 0. But we also want to limit how many attacks each unit can do. So we're going to hop over to our unit script. We're going to scroll all the way to the top, and we're going to create a public int called attacks left. And we're going to set this to be 1 by default. Now we want to factor that in. So we're going to go down to on pointer down. Now we'll still allow them to move if they have no attacks left, but we won't let them attack. So if closest attack tile equals null, and player unit dot attacks left is greater than 0. So that will make sure we only attack if we have attacks remaining. Now we'll head back to player AI, and we want to incorporate attacks left into our handle unit turn. So above that if statement we put in, we are going to add another if statement. So if target unit is equal to null, then we're going to set active unit dot movement left to be 0. And that active unit dot attacks left to also be equal to 0. And then we're going to return out of the function. We also want to make sure we're in range. So we're going to create an int called distance. This is going to be equal to get heuristic, or grid manager dot get heuristic. And we're going to pass in grid manager dot get tile. We'll put in our active unit dot grid position. And we're going to pass in another grid manager dot get tile. And we're going to pass in target unit dot grid position. So if our distance is less than or equal to our active unit dot attack range, and our active unit has attacks left, so attacks left is greater than 0, then we're going to set active unit dot attack. We'll pass in our target unit, and then we're going to decrement attacks left. So active unit dot attacks left minus, and then we're going to return. If we're out of range, then we're just going to set active unit dot attacks left to be equal to 0. We're out of range of a target. We can't attack. Just set attacks to 0. We need to do that for automation because we're only ending the turn if attacks and movement have been expended on every unit. So we need to make sure we zero out even if they can't. Now we're going to add a safety So inside our if statement, where if target tile is not equal to null, we're going to do another if statement. If pass is not equal to null and pass.count is greater than 0, then we want to call move to. That's going to make sure it'll still work or not work. It's going to make sure we don't get an error if there's no pass. And then we'll do an else, and we'll set active unit dot movement left equals 0. So we're zeroing out the movement. Good to go. So let's head over to our check unit script, or check unit function. In here, we're only checking movement left. We also want to check if they're out of attacks as well. If active unit dot movement left is less than or equal to 0, and active unit dot attacks left is less than or equal to 0, then we're also going to make target unit null, and the rest of that's good to go. So let's hop into player script, because when we reset the units, we also want to reset their attacks left. So inside our little for each loop here, we're going to do unit dot attacks left is equal to 1. And with that good, we're going to do a minor change to our unit script to make sure we're not highlighting anything as long as it's an AI controlled unit. So we're going to do public bool is AI, and then we're going to go down to handle movement. And inside here, we're changing the selected unit. We only want to do that if it's not AI. So right before that, we're going to do if not is AI, then owner change selected unit equals this. Now, because of that, we have to go to our player AI script, and all the way up in start, we want to loop through all of our units and set them to be AI. So for each unit in units, unit.isAI equals true. Once you're done on that, save all your code. Let's head back. So we didn't make any changes inside Unity, so we don't have to assign anything in the inspector. We're good to go. Just hit play and see the magic happen. So now I can select my units, move them over. And then if I end my turn, you can see the enemy's moving its units into position. And if I just keep ending turn, we can start seeing our units disappear because they're being attacked. And there we go. We have no more units. We are out of units. We lose. Now, there's definitely room for improvement with our AI in general, but we can improve it and work on it later. So consider this kind of a proof of concept AI. In the next video, we're going to add something a little more visual and make our map that will display positions to the player. For this map, that's not as important, but for bigger maps where the player won't be able to see every unit, it can be very helpful. That's all for today, though, so if you found this video helpful, hit like and subscribe to help other devs find the series. Let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on allowing some units to attack multiple times in a turn? This isn't like Fire Emblem's speed doubling, more like how in XCOM some units can attack twice, or in Fire Emblem Awakening, the Gale Force ability allowed units to act again after killing an enemy. It's super powerful, so how would you balance that? As always, thanks for watching. I'm Alex with Serious Goose Games, and I'll see you in the next one.